Guys, in case you missed it, Behavior have re-enabled skill-based matchmaking in Dead by Daylight for a short period test. And the last time that skill-based matchmaking was enabled, I actually did a full week of uploads playing lots of different killers, showcasing what potential high MMR gameplay looks like. There's a little playlist link up here if you want to go check that out. If you remember, I actually ended up getting a 2-hour queue as the twins, and the only reason that queue ever got populated was because there was a tournament team watching my stream. They jumped into Discord, they 4-man stream sniped me, and then they all equipped the perks to counter the exact build I had, as well as the twins, and brought medkit, and then they took me to Coldwind, Fractured Cowshed. So really unfair game, definitely manipulated style game, and if that was what skill-based matchmaking was going to be like, I think most of us would hate it. Thankfully, skill-based matchmaking seems a little better this time. I've actually managed to play 8 games of the twins in a 2-hour period, and I thought what I would do is upload every game relatively unedited so you can basically see what the MMR process is in Dead by Daylight, see how it actually gives me harder opponents the more games I win, and I guess just enjoy some actual high-level gameplay of someone playing twins versus survivors that are actually relatively good in some of these matches. Also, I thought I would show you this in case you've never seen this. This is a spreadsheet that one of my moderators maintains, and it has every game I've played of Dead by Daylight since November 2019. Over 5,000 games recorded. Actually mind-blowing. So these are all the different statistics of every killer I've played. So why don't you go into the comment section right now, just type which killer you would like to see next for a high MMR video. There's my stats. You know which killers that I'm statistically good at, and statistics are probably what the MMR system is based off of. I don't know. Either way, I thought I would just show you this. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and check to see if you're subscribed. 51% of you aren't subscribed currently, but you watch my videos, and I would love to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you'd like to support me on that, just check to see if the button's red. Enjoy this 1 hour of twins. All right, that was actually a quick queue. That was legitimately a 2-minute queue. You know, that's good news. The queue didn't last forever. Hey, from 2 hours down to 2 minutes. Thanks, Behavior. Always Rodham Fields, man. Always Rodham Fields when you're trying to, you know, get some good information. This is an awful map to try and control. We've got the perk set up for it, though. Obviously playing super sweaty, as you would expect from someone trying to test the MMR system, the skill-based matchmaking system. They do have toolboxes. That is a very quick let go of the gen. Interesting. No killer's instinct. I'm going to go find other survivors to push off gens. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Is the killer's instinct to give us info. All right. Nice. Okay. Great. Yes. Okay. So this is high MMR then. This is what high MMR looks like. This is, if you were wondering what it's like to be a top level survivor, this is it. This is what we've all been missing out on. 100% win rate on twins. The looping of Goddess. All right, there. Everyone injured within half a second. A random Kobe. Which means no borrowed time. He did dodge it, fair play. I mean, dodging that is pretty successful. But look, these guys are already just like... I guess they've given up immediately. That was a dead hard. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Nice. All right. Well, that's GG. Basically. This is definitely just what high MMR survivor gameplay looks like, clearly. The top percentile of the world here, guys. Europe's finest showcased here today. Okay. Obviously, we're going to stop her from getting the rescue for free. I can't switch into Victor because of the anti, you know, hook camping mechanic. So we can do this. Which will probably push her away from the unhooking. She can obviously unhook still. Alright, and that's high level twins apparently. Well, I don't think the system's working if I'm getting a 2-minute queue and these are the survivors they're finding me. I mean, obviously these guys gave up. Like, I don't want to come off as trying to overstate what actually happened, the Felix gave up. He didn't want to play, and then I guess also the young Jin gave up as well. All right, here we go. Mount Ormond Resort. This is the second game of Twins during the MMR test. Maybe because we won the previous game so decisively, because the survivors didn't want to play versus Twins, this game will have more challenge to it. Who knows? Ormond's such an awful map because that gen over there could have people on it, but we did get a quick little undying reading on the gen that I expected the survivors to spawn at. This here is such a common survivor spawn. There was a thing here. Oh shit, that's a bad miss. There's 3 survivors back here. We're gonna go for the ones on the gens, never the one who's running away, because they're the ones who are going to hurt us long term. Looks like David is on the totem now, and the person who has Victor on them is sliding across the wall, which is a terrible place to run with Victor. So we're gonna slide towards them, like so. We can hear Victor nice and loudly. She hasn't spotted us yet. She has to dead hard to the pallet, and she actually did. But now she's half poorly, so we're going to down her immediately. I'm going to go and contest this generator quickly. I actually just realized that I'm only running a toy sword as add-on. I don't know, there's a second survivor back here on the gen. I just spang by the looks of it. Wow, that was a bad miss. That's fine though. She actually doesn't know how to kick me because... Well, survivors actually really struggle with kicking for some reason. Alright, they failed to pick up. He does have a flashlight though, so that's... Yeah, that was the other gen that I expected them to be on. Oh, he's saboed. That's huge for us. So now we have 3 injured survivors. If he tries to sabo this, he's going to die attempting. And we have Victor back, so we can actually down him really quickly. Also, Victor avoids dead hards, which is huge. So you actually can't really dead hard a Victor pounce. We're going to drop down here, hit this bang. And then we're going to look to see if the... I was going to look to see if Meg was coming across map, but I won't do that anymore. Meg's downstairs. She's right here. Perfect. Looks like Feng has moved towards the survivor. I need to go up and get David. So let's do that real quick. Oh, David's actually picked up. Never mind. We'll just follow the Meg then. Looks like she's given up already. There's another survivor back here. Thanks to the blood, we get that info. She dropped down, so she can't kick me. And these guys are split, which means I should be able to get all 3 of them. Yep, Meg's still back here, so that's GG in theory. Alright, game over. That's a 4-gen Mount Ormond game. To be fair, solo queues can't do anything against this. Of course they can. If you've played against the Twins, then you would run towards your teammate, right? Make sure that you buddy up so that you don't get taken out like this really quickly. Almost every killer has a counter. Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand why Twins need to be nerfed, Dr. Dreadful. I'm not trying to say, like, this is a fun play style. I literally got 5 hooks this game. Like, this was a 5-hook game. We hooked the Nia once, and then we hooked every other survivor once. So Nia twice and every other survivor once. This is a 5-hook game. So clearly, it's not a game that most people will want to play, nor is it a game that most survivors will want to play versus. But if we're trying to test the highest level of MMR for Twins, then I'm going to have to play it and take every advantage I get just to really see exactly what that is. Well, last MMR test, Dr. Dreadful, it tried to put me only against players of my rating on Twins. I think we had 1 or 2 games at the beginning that were misfires. And then after that, it was like the matchmaking shut down because it was trying to find people of my rating. And one of the complaints I had was that the queue time was too long. Like, it didn't expand its search requirements at all. So obviously right now, the queue times are super speedy. So it makes me think that there's no requirements at all. And that they're just really going for a broad system. Which broad systems make sense. Like, I think for Dead by Daylight, that's actually what you want, realistically, as a broad system. You don't want a system that's super ultra competitive because most people don't really like or consider DBD an ultra competitive title. They kind of would play it very casually. So from that perspective, you probably actually want to a queue system that is somewhat more casual. All right, so 3 survivors, I believe. And then there's 4th back there. All right, so far, this game I already feel like the survivors are better because the LED held on to Victor. But then she ran all the way back here, which was obviously a really bad decision. So I don't know what to say based on that. I want to incapacitate this survivor. Now everyone's injured other than Nia. I think overconfident was probably what we were experiencing from these survivors. More so than anything. There's Nia back there. Attempts at dodges. So, I mean, this is already seeming like it's more higher level than previous games we played. They should get the pallet drop here. Oh, yep. Both are dead hard. No borrowed time, though, so we'll punish that real quick. And now he's overstepped, I believe. I get Victor back, so I'm going to just run this straight. That's a DC. So she doesn't want to play versus me, which is fair. I understand that logic. Makes sense. Now we can hook Dwight, I suppose. And now he's DC'd as well. So, I mean, I would say this lobby was better than the previous lobby, but not by much. Just they had some ideas on how to loop more than anything. But the DCs are quite telling. They don't want to play versus this. And I think that players that are more experienced are the ones that are more likely to want to DC. Because they understand that it's a game they can't win, you know. But I could be wrong on that. Okay, and I take it back. These guys are not better because Cheryl dead-hearted randomly and then didn't, you know, kick me after that happened. So she could have 100% kicked me and then probably even picked up Nia in that scenario. But she chose not to. What do you mean by a game they can't win? I mean, this is a game that they weren't going to win. I demonstrated to the survivors very quickly that I was able to generate ridiculous amounts of pressure at 5 generators. And they didn't want to play it anymore, so they gave up. All right, so this lobby had a much more higher variety of ranks, which is something that we were to expect with the skill-based matchmaking system, because ranks no longer mean anything. What matters is the data that behavior have collected in the background of how you perform as a survivor, and that will allow you to then get matched versus people who also have a similar skill-based rating to you. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take the ranks to mean anything other than these guys probably perform all right in the games usually. And obviously with the rank reset fiasco that happened last month, I assume that people's ranks are going to be fairly spread out and random. All right, here we go. Wrecker's Yard. This is one of the hardest maps for any survivor team to win out of all the Order Haven maps because it's so centralized. You know, I can basically play the shack as my my office and go to any gen with Victor very quickly and easily. That's what we're going to do. But we are going to use this hill for a bit of info before we do anything. Hills are always a great place to start. No survivor on that gen. No survivor on this gen. And they've spawned over there. Probably 3 of them based on the fact that I don't see survivors. There's 1 here. Just 1. So we're going to go across because there's probably 2 or 3 here. Perfect. And now we can move towards them. It looks like one's sticking the gen. The other one's coming off the gen, going to the pallet. Does that mean the 4th survivor is on that gen back there and I just didn't see them? Not sure. We've blocked the pallet, so Nia can no longer use it. And that was actually a really good stun. So that shows a lot of heads-up play immediately from the Meg to be able to know that that was the play she needed to make. Kicking Victor was nonsensical there because it actually doesn't help her. We are going to go and stop the other Meg, or Cheryl, sorry, to finishing this gen. Use our Hex Rune well. That's 3 survivors injured. Nice and early. Definitely a slower paced game from the others though, because the survivors so far have played a little bit better, arguably. See what Elbow is not good for this Meg. We'll slide around the outside just to push it to the L wall. And actually, we're going to switch on to this gen here because it's almost done. Hopefully, it doesn't have sprint burst. Now we use our Victor. We can punish this Meg immediately. Alright. I'm going to make sure I move back over towards the gen with Victor to catch out the Ash if he comes back and incapacitate him. I can hear survivors on that gen there, but I don't think it's got that much progress. It is injured near, though. Yeah, we'll just hook Meg here. The Cheryl healed. We got Victor back from Ash, who tapped the gen and ran away. We're going to hook at the gen to make it regress more with Ruin. We see Cheryl's return to her gen. We know that Ash and Nia were injured, so we can play around this area fairly easily. In fact, I'm going to go down the injure the Cheryl again to incapacitate her and force the regression on her generator. And then we can go back to contest the survivors who may be trying to rescue this this Cheryl here. And Meg even, sorry. Oh, that was a quick release. That's huge for me. Oh, that was a weird miss, but now we just back up. Okay, I'm under that apparently. That's fine. We can double back this way. In fact, Cheryl's not healed, so we're going to go contest her generator again. That was a dead hard to nowhere. Oh shit, that was a bad miss. Ash is half decent. Already established that Ash is half decent. These guys are going to be on this gen here. I can contest it for half a second before going back and stopping them from finishing this one. Incapacitate Ash. Just running into the back corner doesn't do anything other than just, I guess, trap him in the back corner and then go towards this gen back here, I believe, for a second will be good. She immediately left the loop, which was a good read by her, but a better read by me. With Dead Hard, I don't think she makes anything. Oh, this pallet, obviously. That's my regression gone. Oh, wow, that double back was good. Hey, one gen, and they've just got rid of my regression, so that was very good by them. And they'll probably be double healing back here, so we're going to contest that. Bad miss. I mischarged the healing time completely. Nia's on the gen again. I'm going to go pick up Meg. I don't think it's worth going for them. Keep them injured. Alright, that dead hard means she doesn't have soul guard, because you wouldn't dead hard there if you had soul guard. Alright, so where we got the survivor group? One's in the shack, two on this gen. They're going to commit it. Meg, Nia has dead hard. Nope, she doesn't. Let's make sure we slug here a little bit with Victor. And then we can look to continue this slugging if they're healing under the hook. Alright, so it doesn't really matter who we hit here. That was a good dodge by her. I'm going to look to hit the Meg here now. Make sure that she stays incapacitated. And then I'll pick up the Nia. Nia's crawled away. So instead of going for the Nia, we are going to go for the survivor back here. And since there's 2 injured survivors, we have a good chance of catching one of them. We did break this pallet, I believe. Oh, it got reset. So we didn't break it. This works for us, though. She doesn't have a dead hard back. I don't know where Nia is still, so we'll just hook this Cheryl. She could be all the way back there, and I wouldn't know. Oh, she just got picked up, so I think she was in that back corner. Meg's on this gen. She just dead-hearted randomly. So we know she doesn't have that now. Good dodge, but she can't kick me. I'm too far. That's the dumb thing about the Victor nerf is... Oh, that's a window. Is that missed hits don't punish the twins at all. That's an awful corner to get stuck on. This is some bad play by me, but we hit her now. She should block her jump. Too late. I'm going to just go and try and get a hit on one of the survivors who are healing back here. I assume there's 2 or 3 of them back here. Based on the heals, that's 2 of them back here. And then we'll go pick up the Meg, I suppose. Actually, no, we'll just contest this. Oh, never mind. Let's go pick up Meg. I didn't want to pick up Meg because she's like dead on hook and she just got tunneled out of this game. But I guess we'll go and contest her regardless. He's in a dead zone. Let's see how he plays it now. I don't think he can make a pallet from his position. Yeah, no, he can't. He's just trying to get his sprint burst back, I'm sure. Nope, he's wasted it. So he's just going to go down in the corner instead. I mean, these survivors know what to do to waste time. And they had Unbreakable, which really helped them out. Because it gives them quick heals. It doesn't necessarily... And look, they're working 3 separate gens as well, injured. So I need to go make sure I hit the injured survivors down, like this near. Hello, drop. Is Cheryl still on the gen? Yes, she is. I can just kick this and then use Victor. And Meg's back on that gen back there. She has dead hard. Bad use of it. He doesn't have dead hard, so he goes down here. Oh, he is. Knock him in, I suppose. Because this will force him out of the locker, so we don't have to worry about him staying in there for the entirety of the DS. So unless he has Unbreakable, he's now basically stuck there. Perfect. And he did have Unbreakable looks of things, which is rough. Oh no, Nia's here. Never mind. So this Survivor team's doing much better than the previous. Like, this is actually what you would expect an MMR team to be, right? Good pressure across the board. Cheryl's going for the rescue, I guess, but maybe way too late for that. So now with this Survivor dead, we should be able to just win this game. They have to reset. They also have to play this next section perfectly. We'll go for Cheryl, because she's so split from the group. It won't matter if we slug her. Oh, Ash is actually here. Whoa, we hit nothing and went nowhere. Ash needs to come for the hit immediately. I think we get there in time. It's not a big map, this one. He also doesn't have dead hard, so as soon as he comes out, he just gets tapped like this. We haven't hooked the Nia yet, I don't believe. Which is a downfall of my gameplay. Okay. And Nia's somewhere back here. Yeah. She dropped this pallet and reset it. She went away from her pallet loop. which is a bad play. That's GG. So, I mean, this game here, much better match. Like, in theory, this is what you might actually expect out of a higher MMR group of survivors versus someone who hasn't lost yet with the twins in regular gameplay. So, I mean, this is very possibly me playing poorly and the survivors playing well. I don't think I made all the best choices this game, but I do think that the survivors played a lot of good choices, and that is good to see. All right, so let's show them a GG in post-game. I don't believe I can actually see any of their hours because I think they all have them hidden for some reason. But you can tell already from the perk group that we have here. 3 Unbreakables in the game, 3 DSs in the game. So that already shows that the survivors are looking for the W, which is cool. 4,000 hour survivor on one of them and 5,000 hour survivor on the other one. There you go, huge. So from the 2 survivors we could see the profiles of, which was, I believe, Meg and Nia. Yeah, those were 9,000 hours between those 2 survivors. So definitely more in line with what an MMR game should be, really. Oh, Badham Preschool 2 is a very hard map. So if this is a good survivor team, then this might be a little bit harder. Let's see how this one plays out. Wrecker's Yard is meant to be an easier survivor map, killer map. So whereas Badham Preschool 2 would be a much harder one. I see the Fang over here, so I'm going to instantly just try and get a hit onto her. Hopefully we got a blocked door. We don't? Yeah, we do. Nice. I can't actually pounce downstairs, so her pathing is really good. Wow, that was an incredible dodge. Yeah, no, honestly, I take those teabags and say, well done. She not only pathed really well there to avoid an easier hit, but she then dodged a point-blank Victor pounce, so that's really big. She just froze this on me? No, she froze up. She didn't know how to deal with this situation. And I think she will make the pallet, but it just depends on if she paths directly towards it. Okay, this is a newer survivor. The Fang had complete understanding of what to do versus the twins, and the Yui had no idea. You should never take Victor off in a chase because it's stuns locked you. All right, 2 survivors on this gen, and you can see there's an individual survivor on the double story. So let's go and try and contest this just to stop it from popping. It's only just been started, so actually we might be better going for the survivor in the house because they potentially have more progress. But I think I saw them hopping on it, so I'm going to make the assumption that they actually have no progress on it. No sprint burst. You must know exactly where the pallet is in the distance you can take. Yep. The survivor's very efficient. It was a bad decision, though, to say the gen with Hex Ruin available. Maybe she didn't know I had it. Oh, that gen was almost done. That's a shame. Maybe she didn't know I had Hex Ruin. I need Victor back here. Because she's efficient, I assume she wouldn't drop this pallet, and that was correct decision. She has Dead Hard. Wait for it. Yep. Her playstyle has given me her perks. She's got Iron Will, Dead Hard. Not exactly sure what the other 2 perks are, but for now I know that. All right, so that's Cheryl healed. Potentially 3 of them at the hill. Yep. 3 of them at the hill. Cool. So we're just going to look for injured with Victor, and then we'll go after whoever. Doesn't really matter. Over the bush. That was pretty sick. I like doing this because it gives me aura information as to where the other 2 survivors are. So that's a sprint burst on Cheryl. Recovered. Nice. We actually just got Victor back, so we're going to use that now to try and find a injure state. She actually pushed me out of the way. I did not know that it was interacting like that right now. And then disappeared, which is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting the disappearance there. There was no need to stop the unhook. Oh, she's over here. I hear you. But you managed to get past me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to... everyone's injured but Cheryl. This is a terrible place to loop as an M1 killer as Charlotte. Let's just get her injured then. And see what we can do with the rest of the survivors. There's a survivor back there. Oh, they're actually all 3 healing here, so we can contest nicely. Let's see if Yui blocks her. Yeah. Not great for her. The other one over here is injured, so we're going to release Victor and go see what they're doing. Took a wide path. I don't think I get punished for there. That little crouch shows that this Jane has relatively good understanding of how hitbox mechanics work. All right, we'll just take the down here on the Jane, I think. What does crouching do to Victor? Crouching reduces the survivor's hitbox, which makes it harder to hit any projectile-based attack, which includes Victor, I suppose. Not that he is a projectile, but he has a you know, limited range, I suppose. That's annoying that I can't unbind there because I'm too close to the hook. All right, nice. And we'll go for the Jane now. That would have been really sick. Oh, she went behind? This is a bad place to be. Alright, game over. I think the Feng was the best player on their team. Maybe Cheryl was pretty good as well. Hard to say, really. Alright, this is the worst Macmillan map, so it should be interesting to see how it plays out. If this team gets any good control in the game, then we're in trouble immediately because of how bad this map is. But we already found the survivor spawn. On Groaning Storehouse, it's quite common where they're going to spawn. Let's see if this call it pre-pass. She does. She also pre-dodge. I'm going to keep moving towards the Gen and ignore her. Oh my god, that was a bad swing. I think we get this because she pressed the wrong button. Oh my god, that was a really quick dodge. Damn. Okay, so this survivor plays... keeps pressing the wrong button, which probably gives us some information that they're on console. Because on controller, you have, you know, the same button for every action in the game, it seems. We can still contest them on the Gen real quick. They've actually left the Gen. They could be back there. I just don't have the info. This Felix here is definitely not as good as the rest of the team so far, from what I can tell. The two Claudettes seem a little bit better. I mean, that was greedy unless he has Dead Hard. Alright, well played. Push him to the left so we don't get Shaq. He actually just went Shaq anyway. Yeah, okay. So he plays exactly how I thought he would now that I've seen him loop a little bit. You start to get a read on survivors after playing versus a lot of survivors in your time. Understand how they want to play the game. The other Claudette has healed. I'm just going to hook up here to see if this Gen has progress. My totems are really bad, so we're going to lose our Gen regression quite early this game. I see all three survivors thanks to barbecue and just, you know, general eyesight, I suppose. That was a great dodge. These survivors' dodges are really clean. Like, they snap their movement, which is huge. Good to see. Two survivors here, and the Nancy is in the main building. No snap there. Oh, okay, that was just lag, I think. She kind of teleported on me. Bit surprising. Let's take this Claudie. You should have thrown that. I want everyone to be injured, so we are going to go for this Claudette again. And then we're going to look for the Nancy in the main building. Just to push her off the Gen. Alright, so that's a good rescue. Looks like the Claudette's gone into the back corner to play Victor back there. Which means that we can't use Victor at all. Oh, they've just ran over each other. I'm going to try and get pallet out of Felix. He didn't want to throw it. He actually is really heads up survivor. Alright, cool. I just got my Victor back. I need to push Nancy off the Gen. It's the only Gen that has progress, and it's a central Gen. Interesting, the revolt. Is Felix now on this? No, he's not. He's healed somehow. Not exactly sure how. She's just running a straight line into a T-L1, unfortunately. There is a pallet loop here that she just snapped onto. Yeah, this is a bad chase for me. These guys have got really good spread pressure, and I'm not going to be able to do much against it right now.
add pathing. I don't think it punishes her though, because the jungle gym here is so close. I'm going to get Victor back. Oh, there's a survivor in here. That's really good for me. I assume dead hard on the Claudette, so she'll probably vault this and then dead hard. Oh, okay, that's a weird fake. I guess she just wanted to use a dead hard like this, but she could have achieved the same thing, literally, by just doing the opposite. Vaulting and then dead harding. So it's totally unnecessary. Oh, they're actually on that gen. Okay. I want info on the totem, which is why I put Victor there. Alright, so we're letting the outskirts gens pop on purpose. It's okay, they pop. We want to control around the center, which is how you play the Groaning Storehouse. We assume that Claudette and Felix are on this gen all the way back there, based on Felix's previous movement as well as Claudette's. So that gen should pop soon. And now they're grouping up for a big hill. So we're going to go try and contest the hill as much as we can. Ideally, we knock down the Claudette if she joins the group, but that's unlikely. So now we've got them all in one spot, which is fine, because we can continue sending Victor to them to punish them and look to just injure over time. And whilst this happens, Nancy's dying on hook, obviously. Good dodge. So we're playing patrol here quite heavily. They've just healed. Let's get a hit on the Felix whilst he's free. Nancy's just gone second stage, which is great. And now we double back to the main building. Because 2 out of 3 of them are injured, so they can't actually rescue right now. We want to hit her before she gets the unhook. And she left her to die. That's great. We just got Victor back, so now we're in control. And because we got Victor back, we can actually recall Victor here on the staircase, which is nice and close to the unhook. Alrighty. I have no idea where they are, so I'm just going to come out. I'm pretty sure Nancy will die here, but I could be wrong. I took that way too wide, but we get the pallet foot, which is good. Alright, so they just double healed and Nancy died on her first hook. This is a dead area now. Really laggy dead hard. So, I mean, these guys are definitely better than your average survivor team, but some of their decisions have been very selfish, which has led to their downfall. I know Claudette's back there. I'm just going to control Victor, try and get a hit on Felix, and then we'll go for the Claudette. And we can tap the black Claudette on the back. Assume that because of the clicking, she has borrowed time, so we ignore her. And now we've got her in a pallet loop here with no pallet, so that's huge. She didn't pay attention. Oh, wow, she actually did. Interesting that she faked like that. That was a really weird fake. She's going to main building. Smart. This window is not very good, though. She has dead hard, remember. So Felix holding on to the Victor, which means that the team has 0 gen progress whilst this has happened. Claudette's not been able to find a generator. Other Claudette was in chase, and Victor was holding on to Victor. Felix was holding on to Victor. And now we can go for Felix with Victor again. So unless she has Will Make It, I don't think she gets the pickup in time because it's a 16-second heal. Alright, I'm just looking to see where Sherrod thought it went. Always can unbind on heals, which is why I hooked him. Alright, game over. So yeah, guys, I feel like this team was better than your average team. They definitely made some good decisions across the board, but ultimately probably a group of solos, which is what held them back. Survivor shouldn't kidnap Victor. They should early game, not late game. Late game, it's a bad decision. Victor should pick Spine Shield. Victor is a killer power. He's not actually an individual killer. He's just designed to seem like he's an individual killer. All right, so a brand new part on a Sabo toolbox is a bit peculiar, but hey ho. The rest of them had Spine Shield. That's such I think that's a huge indicator of good survivormanship. You know, if they want to run dead hard, makes a lot of sense solo queue. Spine Chill makes a lot of sense solo queue. Borrowed Time, 4 Borrowed Times makes a lot of sense. Holy crap. Like, are they all just running the same build? Almost? Yeah, 2 Adrenalines, 1 Resilience, 4 Dead Hards, 4 Spine Chills, and 4 Borrowed Times. That is really telling, right? Of what you need to do to be a good solo queue survivor in the MMR system. And the fact that they're running Adrenaline shows how confident they are that they are going to escape. How's MMR? I mean, so far it's okay. I don't dislike it right now, but I mean, we haven't really got... Like, it's so hard to actually get a good understanding of how the MMR system's actually going to play out because we don't understand what behavior's been doing. They're giving us such little information on this. My last 2 games, I would say, were against harder opponents. So I guess we'll see if this game is also versus harder opponents, but just a quick check of the lobby shows that one of the survivors has very little hours. And so I'd be surprised if they're considered high MMR. That doesn't mean that they're bad, by the way. You can be a good survivor with low hours. It's just, you know, maybe subverting what I expect a little bit. Getting that Thana debuff onto the survivor team as quickly as possible. Nancy had enough heads up read to not get rid of Victor immediately. But we can trap her here really easily. Alright, so we lost our Undying, which is fine. There should be Meg here. Dead Hard doesn't work with Victor, so that's a fine down. And then I think I return to Nancy because there's a second survivor back here. They're not moving if they're coming to a Nancy. So there's a survivor searching the map for what I would assume is Hex Ruin. Oh, her Dead Hard didn't count. She got it back immediately. It's very interesting. Okay. If Meg's coming for the rescue, she's coming from this direction here. Oh, she's just healing. Okay. She's just potentially discovered my ruin, though. This game seems to be a hard one for the survivors to win already. I'm going to recall Victor now. We're pushing them all together. You are definitely lost. And that is Meg giving up immediately. Good dodge. Oh, I didn't land on the pallet. I was trying to land on the pallet there. Okay. So Meg tried to attempt immediately and was unsuccessful, so she's death hook. Nancy didn't attempt to struggle nor had DS, so she is also death hook now as well. Bad read on what the hitbox situation would be there. Meg has no DS because she has healed herself, so I could just tunnel her, but I'm not going to. I'll try and chase someone new. Half decent pathing from Fang. Good spin. Good on her. Fang so far is their best player. just from general understanding of how to play the game alone. Oh, he just ignored this pallet here, which is a bit strange. And then he ignored this pallet here as well. He can't kick me, I went too far. Leary's has some weird hitboxes where you slide off stuff. Then we have Bang looking like that might be Nancy actually. Looks like they're still looking for the Hex Rune. It is possible, I think, to make that jump. I just not very good with it. I don't know if the survivor stuck up here. It doesn't look like they did. Bang should be coming this direction. Oh, it's Nancy actually. Okie dokie. Okay, so that was just a really early pallet drop. Meg has a dead hard. Let's see how she plays this. She's already pre-pathed this direction. This is a relatively safe pallet loot. That is so good. We get to get the pallet for free. We get the hit, and she crushes Victor. Alrighty. So 2 injured survivors running around headless chickens. Only one's done a gen so far. Okie dokie. Sounds like they're back here. Is there a pallet here? Looks like there might be. Okay. Let's see how we play in. We got one there and one there. Amazing. So what I can do is I can leave my terror radius this direction, which will then make it fade, and then this Nancy's in trouble immediately. Good dodge. Amazing. Good reactions, considering that so far she's not actually had any reactions to our decision making. I'm lost. She's back here. Okay. Already popped away. And then that leaves Dwight on a gen all the way back here if he's still working it, I think. Oh, wow. He crouched, which I thought meant that he was giving up, and then he dead-hearted. I guess a little bit of deceiving gameplay there. Good on him. Okay, I guess that's a way to do it. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, this game here was nowhere near the same quality of MMR games that we had previously. Have I played versus these guys yet? No, all console. A key and a map, so we have to keep that in mind. Oh, David and Jane have keys. Oh, okay, we're just going to bring Spinning Top then. Let's make them play around their items, which will win us time. This is a Swift. 100%. Look, they're changing our items based on what each person is bringing. I suspect this might actually be a Swift. Oh, the game. This will be really interesting, because I genuinely think based on the pre-game lobby, this is a 4-man Swift. There's no way for me to prove it because they're playing on console, but just the way that they were like interacting with their items, it was almost like they were having a conversation. I don't think that they were just randomly switching their items out based on what each person was holding, but more so saying, all right, you bring the map, I'll bring the key. You know what I mean? Like, but there's no way for us to know. It'll be interesting to see how this game plays out regardless. I heard a gen being worked on downstairs, I thought. This one, I think. Yeah, they're on it. No sparks yet. All right, so they're holding on to Victor, so that's a good sign that the survivors have a relatively good understanding of what to do. We just found 2 survivors with Victor, so what I'm going to do is take this pallet. I'm going to then recall Victor, and if we get the down on David, we get the down on David, but if we don't, then I'm going to go straight over to that gen. Oh, he went the wrong direction, and it worked out really well for him. I am slower because I'm not running an add-on to increase my movement speed. Nice, we got that just in time. Pinpoint precision. So I'm going to leave him slugged and then try and hit a survivor on this gen back here. There's 2 of them on it. So instead of going for the David here, I'm actually going to go contest the gen again. Because they're going to get rid of Victor and they're going to continue working the gen. I'm happy to slug out here just for a bit of gen pressure. Oh, I was trying to unbind Victor, but that was the wrong call. Alright, so Jane's gone that direction. I didn't see the other survivor. She also has a key. So that drops the key on the floor. And now we get to see if there's a survivor back here. There is. Amazing. And instead of trying to chase her here, we actually just do this. We can bring Victor into the mix. I just wanted to see if she was leaving. She wasn't. She didn't panic. Wow, that's really rare that the survivor doesn't get pushed the direction I try to push them. I guess it doesn't really matter. She goes down here. And then Jane's in trouble as well because she actually just dropped down randomly. To tap a ruin gen, I guess. Very important. He's actually not picked up her key yet, interestingly. Alright, cool. So now we're in a good spot. We've managed to spread pressure across the survivors in a way that allows us to avoid them just, you know, getting gens done instantly. That was a interesting play. I think the Cheryl there just insta-meted. Could be wrong. Oh, it's a Nancy. Is that the new Nancy cosmetic? So one thing we don't have to worry about when it comes to keys is the key being utilized when all the survivors are dead and no gens are being completed. So we're essentially setting up this game early rather than just going for straight up hooks and kills. We're getting the pressure onto the survivors through injures and thanatophobia, making sure that we get good value out of add-on as well. We also have Victor between these 2 hooks, so we'll be able to switch to him when the bill gets too close. Like, so he'll go for the upstairs hook first, and whilst we're chasing David, we can basically use Victor here to get a nice little free hit. And David's pretty much trapped here whilst we're doing that. He can't leave this area. That's a life play. He didn't look behind him after it. Alright, cool. So now we can start going for hooks now that everyone's injured. Yes, they've got rid of my rune on dying with the map. Good to see the map coming up and working. Really should have been my target when I think about what items are more important. But, you know, it's really good pressure regardless. So 2-man heal there. Give this a kick and then switch. On the staircase because we can unbind on staircases. And look, we actually found Jane because of that. So let's just trap her. Oh, it's Bill, even better. Nice. So yeah, this is where we can start snowballing. I'm looking for a survivor to shoot out this side, but they didn't even get close to wanting to do that. I'm assuming injured survivor went with full health survivor, and so I'm following blood here. It was a bad assumption. He was just going off to self-care. Let's just slug and hold, and we can go contest the unhook here really quickly. There's no drop downs in the center of the map, which is very peculiar. There it is over there. Well, since he was healing, he doesn't have DS, so we can just hook him. One there, one there. That's 2 there, actually. Heal didn't heal. So let's go contest him real quick. Make sure he doesn't get the heal off. Hopefully we get there in time. Yep, nice. So big punish on that. Instead of grabbing him out of the locker, we're actually going to do this because as soon as he jumps out, we'll get a notification. And now I think we can catch him. We just need to be a little bit closer. Oh, actually, we don't catch him at all. Nice, we do. Alright, that was perfect. I just needed to be a little bit closer. This is not the map that you want to do that playstyle on. I just don't think it works. Too small. She's upstairs. Okay. Alright, are they two-manning the gen down here? Yep. Man, dude, like, this is actually really cool to actually see survivors jump in lockers. You know what I mean? Like, that is just something that you don't see when you're playing twins very often. I'm actually really, really happy to see that. Two of them coming for the rescue. One of them on this gen, I assume. Let's go and click a survivor real quick. Because they're both running straight here. Bill knows he can unhook with Victor on his back, but he's, I think, going to leave it to David here. David's dead on hook, and this is a dead end. Oh, he had life. And it's not a dead end because they finished the gen. Okay, that's a unhook. Big hit. They've got the 5 seconds. They can pick that up really easily since I'm corner map right now. I don't get there at all. I have to send Victor out again if I want to actually just slow them down, but that's not a good decision. I'm better finding David or just walking. Perfect. Whoa, she had DS? Oh, of course, she was the survivor who was just on the hook. I didn't even think of it. I believe the survivor's in here, but I could be wrong. Kind of hoping that she ran in a little bit deeper, but she played that well. Okay. She's just camping each squad pallet she comes to now. Which makes sense because she has Victor on her back, so she's trying to buy her teammates time, but her teammates are just healing. So she doesn't get any good value out of that. Squad pallet back here, but then it's into the window room. Dead hard? Yeah. So, man, if these guys are a 3-man Swift, then I would say that... Sorry, 4-man Swift. Then I would say what's carrying their MMR, if MMR is, like, doing anything, is just the fact that they're playing as a 4-man. They just have a little bit more better communication, a little bit better game sense because they're 4-man. They can trust each other to do gens. Nothing really special in the way they play. But, you know, they have got a lot of gen pressure because of, you know, the fact that they have a survivor with a map to go find their totems. And they have a survivor who is, they understand how to play versus twins, which is good. I was assuming they would drop down. Maybe not. Alright, so you should be kicking here, and she is, but now she's kind of stuck here. She has to recover the Jane, and she can't recover the Jane well. I'm going to assume they all have a DS based on the fact that Jane had DS. I think that's a fairly reasonable conclusion. I've also 3-gen them really hard here, as you'll see. He's recovered his key now, so that's the play. Nancy's going for the pickup on Jane. I saw that she was dropping down. Oh, geez, man. That was such a bad miss. And Bill's here as well, interestingly. I thought they would vault early. They didn't. Alright, how are you going to play this window now that you've vaulted it? Yeah, you're just dead. All right. That's another 2-man heal from Bill and David. And this is where, by hooking the survivors, we're basically allowing the hatch escape to happen. So it's not a big deal, but this is where the game will end. Because there's no way for me to remove the key from play. And now that the Nancy is dead and the Jane is dead, the hatch is spawned. So they will get the hatch escape unless I immediately find David and hit him with Victor Pounce. I assume the map has a hatch lock on it as well. Oh, they're actually just attempting the gen, which is a bit surprising. I wonder if they finish it. They've just stuck it 2-man. They've given up on their teammates, which is, I think, statistically a good play. Wow, great play. Yeah, so these guys might be the first survivors in regular gameplay to actually beat my twins. And what I mean by beat my twins is that they actually get an exit escape. Bill's over here. They're spreading to the exit gates to make sure they get at least one out. I can't get back over there because I don't actually have movement speed add-ons on my Victor. So he gets this open. Oh, no mind, he might not. Alright, there's still a slight possibility that we stop Bill from escaping, I suppose. Yep. So unless they have unbreakables, we actually could get Bill out. Get them out. He knows he has to pick up David. Jeez. So there you go. Even a 4-man Swift that played relatively well from a macro perspective still ended up losing on the game. All right, guys, there we go. That was a tough game. The keys meant that it was really hard to know what to do at any given time because we didn't bring Franklin's, we brought Spinning Top instead, which then made our Victor slightly weaker. And, you know, they had really good communication. Instead of picking up the 2 slug teammates, they just stuck the gen and went for the 2-man out. And they almost got it because they split across the map for the different exit gates. But thankfully, we managed to clutch it using Victor to split the pressure again. So really good survivors. Obviously, they brought everything in the kitchen sink. You know, there was 4 unbreakables. There was 4 DSs. There was 2 dead hards, a Lithe. Everyone had self-care, which is quite unusual for a 4-man Swift. You don't expect self-care from 4-man Swifts. One had inner strength. They had, you know, a medkit. I assume they're Swift based on everything that I see in front of me here. But this is a bit confusing because there is no killer shack at the Giddeon meat plant. Either way, I think the MMR system works. I don't think I'm ever going to be guaranteed to get a squad that is competitive team level every game. And honestly, I don't think anyone wants that either. I think what they want, essentially a system that matches you with worthy opponents most games, you know what I mean? So...
Check me out, y'all.